Hello girls and boys, welcome back to DSF. My name is Logan and today I'm feeling a bit nostalgic because just like this, come in, don't be shy, see what it is. You see this? This little marble is representative of our heritage. Here in Malaysia, we have tons of old school things that maybe some of a younger audience might not remember, but I am fortunately just young enough and just old enough at the same time to remember the time when we used to play with these marbles, smack them around, guli. We used to play batu seremban, we throw stuff around on our hands. We had the wow, which is our national kite. We had the gasing, which is sort of like our version of the national top, and all these little goodies that we had back in the day. And Proton gifted us this little marble to remind us that just like these, we all have the bold and bright colors within us to be truly creative, and to remind us that no matter how far forward we go, bak kata pepatah Melayu lah, kacang jangan melupakan kulit. So we cannot forget our past, because even though this Proton e.MAS 7, our first national EV, yes, the first EV from a national brand has been launched, we have come a long way, but Proton will never forget its roots way back in the 80s when the very first Saga was launched. And I know I say this a lot, but that is actually a very special car to me because that is the first car that I learned to drive in. So without any further ado, let's get into the specs and features of this Proton e.MAS 7. But unlike Proton, I won't keep you waiting. Here's the price. The base prime spec is 109,800 ringgit, and the top spec premium variant, that'll run you 123,800 ringgit. But for the first 3,000 customers, you get rebates and of course all sorts of packages. They have 6 in total, but you'll get a rebate of 4,000 ringgit, bringing the prices down to 105,800 for the prime and 119,800,000 for the top spec premium. But aside from that, I'll very quickly walk you around the car and only tell you about the new things because I have walked you around this car before, if you remember correctly. So let's start up front. The new Proton e.MAS logo. Notice this little slit here in the center. That means this is the e.MAS logo, not the Proton logo. And it's also slightly different for the tiger's head on the inside. You know, a tiger being a national symbol of Malaysia. You've got the number plate down here. And of course, you do get new special EV plates from JPJ for EVs. So if you register for this EV, you will also get special EV plates. Now, you'll notice there is a camera here along with some radar system down here because this car has level 2 ADAS features, autonomous driver assistance systems, level 2, which means it practically can drive itself on our roads given the right conditions. And it has so many 48 specifically competitive edges. It has 32 features for the ADAS systems and so on and so forth, which we'll take you to see in a second on the inside. But other than that, you can see in this camo, you don't really get a full view of how the car really looks. That one we can show you, maybe put in some pictures here or there, but it does come in 5 striking colors: pink, white, gray, silvery and white. So you've also got these very sharp headlights here. This is quite nice, and you can see it also is split right here. You don't get the Proton wording in the corner like you do in most other Proton vehicles, but you do get the Geely wording up front to denote that this is a collaborative effort between Proton and its national partner Geely. So you will notice there is a slight black slit here. There is more ventage. It's not really a vent because of course you don't need cooling like that in an EV, but it is a nice design to have. I also forgot to mention the prime variant, the lower variant, has about 345 kilometers of WLTP range, while the topper, the premium, has about 450. So you can see here there is also a charger that can go right here. Come on over to the side and look at this charger right here, which does sort of have like a butterfly hinge to it. This is reminiscent of some sports cars. Also, you can see the rims here. I'm not sure how good of a view you can get. They are also wrapped, so it's quite difficult. Bang, tutup kejap, bang. Okay, so let's also admire the pop-out door handles here. So it'll pop out once the key gets close, and then you simply pull it forward like so. You've got more cameras over here. Again, level 2 ADAS features. Now, come with me along to the back. Let me close the boot for you before you all get a full view of this. Okay, so along the back, you'll notice once again, the rear tail light runs the length of the car. Nothing new here. A lot of cars have this now. More brake lights. Proton e.MAS 7 denoting what the car is. Nice little spoiler with more brake lights up here. And of course, being an SUV, you get your rear wipers. Now, your boot release is down there, and you do get an automated tailgate. Not bad. for a car of this price range. So it is definitely a class leader, and you can see it is a class leader in more ways than one, because look at how much stuff actually goes in here. And the Proton e.MAS 7 actually has up to 33 storage compartments all the way on the inside, and the boot can hold up to 1,800 liters, which is fantastic, not just in the segment but also in this price point. And you also get underfloor storage right here, just in case the storage up here isn't enough for you, though I doubt anyone will ever say this isn't enough. That is already fantastic. So that sums up the exterior and the boot. Let's very quickly take you on the inside and show you what else is new in the Proton e.MAS 7, our very first national EV. Okay, so inside the Proton e.MAS 7, you guys have seen this before, right? You get this square two-spoke steering wheel design because there's nothing in the middle here. You have these nice big vanity mirrors, which have a light in them, of course, and then you have your nice chunky rear view mirror, nice chunky wing mirrors, and of course the Fly.Me sound system. 16 speakers, by the way, and yes, I have confirmed that it is pronounced Fly.Me, even though I initially thought it was pronounced Flim or something like that. But no, Proton has indeed confirmed that these are some Fly Me to the Moon type speakers. And what is very interesting here is that the central digital cluster here is quite big, 13.8 inches, right? And it houses all the functions of the car, including the controls for this panoramic sunroof up here, 1.18 meters, making it one of the largest in its class. However, the driver display is another story. It's very compact, very oddly bar-shaped, which I don't see too often, but it is very good because it means you can focus on what really matters, and all the information that can fit on the screen has to be the information that matters. You also do get a head-up display over here, so that should help you while you are cruising down the road. You also get ambient lighting here in the middle. If you can see that, you should be able to see that here in the door cards as well. And your aircon vents are nice and low. So you get some here, you get some in the middle here, which means that it won't blast directly to your fingers when you have your hands in the correct position like this, 10 and 2, just so you guys know. But you also get a bunch of controls here on your steering wheel to help you while driving. You've also got a physical dial to help you with things like volume control, so that you don't have to press a button on the screen and get distracted while doing that. You've also got two cup holders here in the center console that you can neatly stow away when you don't want, along with one wireless charger right here and another storage space. Remember how I said they have like 32 storage spaces? Yeah, here, this includes some of it. Down here too, you've got even more storage space, and of course here in the glove box, even more storage space. All sorts of storage space in this car, because the Proton designers did mention that most cars have about 20 storage spaces, 20-ish. This has 33, so that is fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, this, no matter what exterior color you choose, the interior will always be indigo blue, and I feel like that's quite nice because it looks close enough to black that you can fool people in the dark, but not really so much that it is just plain boring black like most people would see. But the addition of the whitish beige color up here on the headliner will make the car feel a bit brighter and a bit airier, so you don't have to worry about the car feeling dark and dingy. And of course, one highlight feature on these seats is not just the shape that they're designed in to hold you in place, but also these speakers. Yes, these are actual speakers in your headrest, so you already know this 16 speaker Fly.Me sound system is going to be fantastic and immersive. Speaking of the seats, I also do want to point out that this car can accelerate from 0 to 100 in 6.9 seconds and uses a 12-in-1 feature Aegis short blade battery. Aegis is of course the name of Athena's shield if you're familiar with Greek mythology, but that is also the name of the battery in this car. So yeah, that just about sums up the Proton e.MAS 7. 6 packages to choose from, 4,000 ringgit rebates for the first 3,000 customers, bringing the price down to 105,800 for the base Prime variant and 119,800 for the top spec Premium variant. So for 2 variants, 5 exterior colors, 1 interior color, 16 speaker Fly.Me system, and all the level 2 ADAS features that you could want and more. Also, before I wrap up, I just want you to bring your attention here. If you can see these, this is one of the colors, the gray I forgot what exactly they call it, but yes, out of the 5 exterior colors, this one is definitely my favorite. So yes, once again, that sums up Malaysia's very first national EV. You know what? I really don't know how to feel about this. I'm conflicted in a lot of ways, so I'll think about it and you guys can hear more in my review. But what do you think of Malaysia's very first national EV, the Proton e.MAS 7?